guys.
Hey guys.
So I wanted to make a video about Prim. I get asked a lot of questions about her, and so I wanted to make one video that has all of the questions, and then if you guys have more questions you can leave them in the comments, and this will sort of be like Prim Frequently Asked Questions Central so that they're all in one place. The number one question that I get asked about this doll is she from Laura? Is she the same doll that Laura had? Laura being littlexloves, who passed away last year. And I've had some people accuse me of copying Laura and say, oh, you got an Arianna and you named her Prim and you're a copycat and horrible evil person, how dare you?
The answer to that is no.
The answer to that is no. I did not copy Laura. This is the actual doll that Laura had. This is the actual Prim, the one and only. I was chosen to adopt her by Lauren, who was Laura's best friend after Laura passed away. So she is the legit Prim. She is the legit doll. So just in case there's any confusion, this is Prim, the one and only Prim from Laura. People have asked me what kit she is, and this is kind of surprising because it's a very popular kit. It's been around for ages. She is Arianna by Reva Schick, and you can buy her on, I think, Irresistibles and possibly McPherson's. I will look on each site and get the actual link so you can see where you can purchase her if you want one. There are some on eBay, and if they're from China, there's tons and tons from China, and they look already painted and put together, and they have a wig, and they're very inexpensive. The kit is, I think, $109.
Yes.
So it's a little bit expensive kit, but it's also very big. I mean, she's a big
toddler.
So she's definitely worth it. But there are some on eBay, and if they're from China, that means they're not authorized. And without getting into a whole different subject in this video, what that means is that that sculpt has been stolen and reproduced by an outside company, an outside party, and so the actual artist, Reva Schick, who sculpted this doll, doesn't get any proceeds from that. She doesn't get any money from that. So even though they are less expensive, I definitely recommend buying from the actual legit kit sites like Irresistibles, like McPherson's, and having your doll reborn professionally by a reborn artist. It's just, they look way more realistic, and again, you don't want to be supporting
the theft
of kits and sculpts and stuff like that. So if it says China,
we want to support our sculptors so that they will continue to sculpt awesome
yes, because most of my dolls, including this one, have these faces that they wouldn't have if we were just scanning them like Realborns, where you scan a real baby.
Right.
These beautiful expressive faces come from sculptors, so we want to keep supporting that. So like I said, if it says China, not good.
Would not recommend.
Yeah, and they don't look as good. They really don't. So I would definitely recommend buying one and getting it reborn, even if it costs a little bit more money or takes a little bit more time. I get asked what size she is all the time, and this kit is a little strange because it has like a smaller shoulders and top, and then she has like a big booty, like she has like a badonkadonk and big legs. So she's 12 months on top, like 12, maybe some 18 months, and then
definite 18 months on the bottom.
Yeah, definite 18 to 24 on the bottom.
Yeah, she can even get away with 24 on the bottom because her thighs are like serious.
Chunky.
For serious.
Yeah, she doesn't look chubby like as a whole, but her thighs are big. So a lot of times what you'll find with 12 months is that it stretches out the design, and then it just doesn't look good. So if you've got like Walmart or whatever, or some Carters where you can buy separates, definitely if you have this kit, buy a smaller top and a bigger bottom, and it will fit the best.
Yes.
It's a little bit challenging when it's like one outfit, but yeah, she's a little smaller on the top. As far as shoes, she wears generally a size 3, but if they're like Converse, which are thinner, she's got kind of chubby little feet. I don't know if you can see, chubby little baby feet. And so some things like Converse, because they're thinner, you need a bigger size. So, 4 or even 5, sometimes she can get away with size 5. But it just depends. You have to kind of get a feel for it, and after you've had one for a while, you sort of get to know.
I think all different makers of shoes, I think they're all a little bit different.
Yeah, it's just like women's clothes. It's all over the place. So I also get asked who is the reborn artist that created her. She was created by Kimberly Weingard of Angel Baby Maker. I do not know if Kimberly is still in business. I obviously have Prim and don't need another, so you can look her up on Google and see if you can find her, or Facebook. I don't know, but that's who made her, and I think she was made in 2000. I want to say 2013. I'm not totally completely sure, but yeah, it's Kimberly Weingard. She's made several Ariannas that look very similar to Prim, but she's got her own original look about her.
Yeah, I
which is
haven't
kind of
seen
neat.
one that looks exactly like Prim. There's something about Prim that's just a little bit different.
People have asked how I make her move in videos, and I will show you. And I will enlist Em's help here because she's usually the one that helps me.
Yes.
So if I'm behind the camera, which is where I'm sitting right now, and Ems tries to move her head, for instance, to say yes, you can see her hand. But if I tip the camera down and she does the same movement, now you can't see it. And it's very similar with the legs. Like sometimes, you can see the tripod. Sometimes I'll do changing videos where her legs move. It's all about where the camera is at. And it is very helpful if you have someone there to help you.
Although you have done videos where you move them yourself and video, but it's more difficult that way.
It's definitely more challenging when you're by yourself, but it can be done. It takes a little practice, and it takes, knowing what the camera's looking at, and sometimes it takes a couple shots to do it right, but it's nothing fancy. There's no robotics, there's no editing. That when my dolls move, it's someone helping me do the shot.
Yeah,
and move
it's
them.
really fun to move Prim because she's a fun little toddler. So.
And she's open-eyed, so she would be active. She's just fun. People have asked what I use for sound effects. Prim's sound effects actually come from Laura. It's a file that Laura used when she had her, so Lauren was able to get those for me, and so those are what I use for Prim. There are lots of sound effects available on the internet. There's different sites you can purchase them from. You just have to be creative a little bit. With her, like I said, she came with specific ones that Laura also used in her videos.
So that's Prim's voice.
It's Prim's voice, and I've added a little bit to her vocabulary. I've added a few sound effects, but for the most part, they're the same files that Laura used, and I honestly don't know where she got them. So, can't help with that. But like I said, there's lots of places to get sound effects on the internet. You just have to look and be able to edit them in. One of the things I noticed, someone had commented on a different video that wasn't about Prim. It was a feeding video for an infant reborn. And they said they really liked the way it was done in my video as opposed to other videos, and they weren't sure what the difference was. And I think the difference is you can do something in post in editing called ducking, which lowers the volume of the sound effect you're using so that it appears that it's in the background. If Prim was right in front of the camera and she said no or something like that and it was loud, then I would make it as loud as the surrounding, like as me talking. But if you're feeding a baby and they're on your lap or they're, further away from the camera, you have to pull the volume down a little bit of the sound effect so it doesn't overwhelm the person that's talking. And I notice this with music a lot too. So if you have editing software, I use iMovie and sometimes Final Cut. You can do all those fancy things real easily. But
Lexi's the master of fancy things.
I'm not the master.
Yes, you are. You guys should see it. She knows all the shortcuts and the keys, and just
Andy, my husband, is the master of editing, but that's probably because he works for Apple. But he's really good at Final Cut. I'm still learning Final Cut. We did use it for her Wonderland video, but yeah, I'm not the master, but I really push iMovie to its limit. Like, I really push it further than it's intended to go, and I add all kinds of things, but it's definitely something you want to learn if you want to make reborn videos. It's a lot of fun when you're able to edit all that stuff in. So I think that is all the questions. Like I said, if you have more questions, please leave them in the comments and I will answer them there. And this way there's one place for all your Prim information.
Comments.
One thing that we did want to add, I have been asked, because I'm a reborn artist, even though I don't take customs and I'm still not taking customs, can't see that I will be for the foreseeable future. It's not something that I want to do for various reasons. But Ems does. And we get asked a lot, will you recreate Prim for me? she will take your custom order for an Arianna, but she's not going to replicate Prim exactly.
Right. Number one, I don't want to replicate another artist's work for money. I mean, for anything, I wouldn't do that. And second, you know, Prim is special, and she's got something special going on, and we want to preserve that, and I don't want to make a bunch of Prims.
Yeah, she's very special to me. I know that her artist did make several that look very similar.
And if you want to go find that artist and ask her if she will make you a Prim or whatever, or make you this doll for you, that's fine, but I won't do it.
But she will make you an Arianna.
I will make an Arianna with any variation of eyes and hair color that you want.
As long as it's not a replica of
exactly.
Little Miss Prim. Prim is very special. And even more so now.
And along that same lines, you also get asked, will she ever be for sale?
Oh, yes. Can I have Prim? Is she for sale? Will you trade her? Blah, blah, blah.
Will you send her to me for free?
Never. Never. She's never leaving this house. Ever. Laura was a friend of mine, a close friend of mine, and so for that reason alone, Prim is very special to me. So even if I were to get out of the Reborn hobby, she will not be for sale. She is here forever. And even if something were to happen to me, just like a real child, there are things in place as to where Prim would go. She will never be available for sale. So I would definitely, like I said, if you want an Arianna, purchase the kit from a reputable seller. Get it reborned, because Prim is off the market.
Yes, she is.
Permanently. So, yeah. And no, I will not send you to her, or send her to you for free. Send you to her. I don't do that. Don't ask me for free babies. Any free babies, but definitely not this baby. So, yeah, she's not available. Even if you had $1 million or 1 million silicones, I will not trade you. So, yeah. Just putting that out there.
Yeah, so that's everything.
So, anyways, I hope you guys are having a good week. I guess it's weekend now. I'm going on vacation, so I probably will not be around as much. So, yeah, my husband he surprised me with taking a week off for Valentine's Day, and he works all the time, so I'm so super excited to spend time with him. And so I'm probably not going to be on here too much, but I wanted to get this video up before I left, and I will see you guys when I get back.
Bye.
Bye.